What in the name of all that is good happened on Valentine's Day this year? Hello and welcome to Eccentric Side. My name is Uche Odogwu, and on Valentine's Day this year, a lot of things happened. From Two-Face being declared missing by his family, to the young lady who was caught assaulting a lecturer being expelled from Unizik. And as if that was not bad enough, Nedu Wazobia had to leave the honest bunch. If this video makes sense, you don't forget to like and subscribe to the Eccentric Side, and let's get into it. So starting from Two-Face, the day began by the shocking information spread by the family of the famous musician in Nigeria, Uche Idibia, aka Two-Face. And in the latest episode in the saga of Two-Face and Annie Idibia getting divorced, I have my opinions about who is right and who is wrong in their divorce, but I'm sure that's not why we are here. But then, in the latest gist, Two-Face was declared missing by his family and called on the DSS, Department of State Security, to come and help in looking for their beloved son, brother, and family member. And they said that in their comments that Two-Face, for a long time now, has been known for people knowing exactly where he is. Is that is in the studio trying to record or is writing new music somewhere. And they said in the last few hours they have not been able to discover where exactly he is. I guess he's unreachable, and then they are really getting worried. But then on his page, he has been getting busy. The gist and that we heard about him proposing to an Edo State lawmaker, or him planning to get married to an Edo State lawmaker. A lot of things have been going on his homepage, but then his family is saying he's missing. So, is he missing? Is this fake video that are being uploaded on his page, or is he trying to cut off ties with his family? I'm just thinking here. I don't know what exactly is going on, but then, if you know where Two-Face is at the time of recording this video, he has not yet been found. So, if you know where he is, you know the numbers of the relevant authorities. Do well to reach out to them. Next on our gist today, we have the students who was dancing in Unizik. So what happened, for those who may not be aware, was there was a student in Nnamdi Azikiwe University, popularly known as Unizik. She was doing a video, and then I guess her lecturer interrupted the video, and then one led to another, and it became physical. And so the university senate on Valentine's Day gave her a Valentine's gift, which was expelling her from the school. Now, this has brought mixed reactions because people are like, is that not too harsh? Some people are thinking maybe it was a good idea for them to expel her afterwards. Some people are actually saying that they should have just left it at maybe suspend her and leave it at that. But here's my opinion on the matter. I think we are beginning to normalize a lot of things that should not be normal. I am not sure who is right or who is wrong in this matter. But one thing is for sure, the things get physical. Yes, it did. Did she deserve a punishment? Yes, she absolutely did. Because I believe that the moment you begin to let this thing happen, you set a bad precedent. And when a bad precedent is set, people will take advantage of it, because after all, the internet will fight for you. I think the school needed to take an action, whatever the action is, whether it's the expulsion, whether it's the suspension, something was needed to be done. And the way they took this decision, I guess, they were within their rights to take it. I'm not sure that it can be appealed. Maybe if you feel the decision is too harsh, maybe you can appeal in some form. But I guess it should be possible, because if you don't feel like your rights are being respected, there should be a way to appeal these kind of things. But I guess we'll keep looking on to see how the case develops going forward. And hey, let me know your comments in the comment section below. Does it make sense? Do you think the punishment was too harsh to expel the girl for a TikTok video that she was doing going bad because of interference from our lecturer? Let us know in the comment section down below. And to the trending gist that crowned everything up this Valentine's Day, we had Nedu Wazobia leaving the Honest Bunch podcast. Now, for those who may be living on that rock or don't really understand what is going on here, the gist of the matter is that on the Honest Bunch podcast, which is, I think you can debate it, but one of the top podcasts in Nigeria where they discuss honest things, among themselves. Oftentimes, they bring celebrities to share their controversial opinions on the matter. Take note of that word controversial, we'll be back to it pretty soon. So they come to share their controversial opinions on certain matters, and then sometimes the trend they have hundreds of thousands of views within the first week of publishing. Sometimes they may not do as well, but then the episodes that do so well are those episodes that it looks like their guests said a lot of controversial things. Maybe it may be true, maybe it may be false, but the point is, if you want to say anything controversial, say it on the Honest Bunch, and the Honest Bunch will trend. And so it looks like that now became their point. Let's shake tables. They say they're speaking the truth, but then who knows, right? Let's say things that will make us trend, and that became the way they were operating, and so to speak. So on the Honest Bunch podcast, we have 4 hosts, and the most popular one, and I might say the major point that was carrying the show on his back, was Nedu Wazobia. Now, the recent episode where they had D1, who is a past contestant on Big Brother, and they had KPs, who was the winner of Nigerian Idol. They were discussing about the reality TV shows. Are they a blessing or a curse? And then in their usual fashion, a lot of controversial things were being said. And the major part that got the internet on fire was when D1, who is a past BB Niger contestant, dragged the popular, influencer. Can I call him an influencer? The popular influencer. And then he was alleging that this guy who is always portraying as this manly man, this no grief for anybody kind of person, is not interested in girls, but interested in guys. And now, in retaliation, VDM, Very Dark Man, came out, and instead of replying to D1, who was on Nedu's podcast, The Honest Bunch, replied to Nedu instead. Now, when I digged further to understand why exactly Very Dark Man was not responding to D1 but responding to Nedu, I understood that it looks like D1 has been trying to get the attention of Very Dark Man, calling him out for a few things, and Very Dark Man has been ignoring him. So my guess is that before now, it looks like Very Dark Man and Nedu were actually kind of, close or friends or friendly with each other, so to speak. And then maybe Very Dark Man felt disappointed and betrayed by Nedu, that you were my guy. How will you tell me that someone came to your podcast to spread gist about me and you allowed it to fly? And so in retaliation, instead of responding to D1, who had been trying to get his attention and he has refused to grant, Very Dark Man began to respond to Nedu and expose their personal decisions, their personal discussions on his social media pages. He mentioned that Nedu, for example, normally have relations with guests before he brings them on. He mentioned some other secret information that he should not be sharing with outsiders, but it looks like he was sharing with Very Dark Man. And Very Dark Man came out and started mentioning some of these things, and then as a result of that, Nedu had to resign from the Honest Bunch. He said that this was in order to maintain the integrity of the show and for the sanity of him and his family. Now, there's a Nigerian saying that goes, "Na person may know person, they keep person." Because I just see this thing as a very unnecessary issue where these guys were two friends, or they knew each other, or they were people that used to at least sit to have conversations with each other. and then they didn't really didn't understand the the meaning of trade secrets. No, not trade secrets. That's not the word I'm trying to get. They really don't understand the meaning of secrecy when it comes, or the need to know, basis of when it comes to sharing information of where you work with us people that are not where you work. So number one, I don't know what exactly. Maybe if I don't know whether or not it's true, but I don't know what exactly led Nedu to tell Very Dark Man, you know, intimate details about his own podcast. And then Very Dark Man, on the other hand, feeling betrayed, came out to start exposing these secret details to the entire internet. And then that set the internet on fire. Now, I see these two people as actually overgrown babies. Because if Nedu, for example, refused to keep his mouth shut and was gisting his guy, Very Dark Man, about what was going on his own show, I don't think, even though he was angry, he should have come out to state this. Maybe he should have given Nedu ultimatum to apologize or something, but actually going to play in the sand with someone playing in the sand does not make you different from the person. It just means that between both of you there's someone that is different, and that's just my opinion on the matter. So at the moment they just let the Honest Bunch, and what will be the future for the Honest Bunch podcast? Because at the end of the day, back to the word controversial, Nedu has been someone that has been the forefront of the Honest Bunch because of the controversial things he says. And then the Honest Bunch is actually there. Their name Honest Bunch. They try to leverage that they are honest, and if things are controversial, they will say it no matter whose heart is gorged. Now, what will they do going forward? Will they become less controversial? How will the show be without Nedu on it? Frankly, I am not sure what will happen. Will they look for someone else that could shoulder the responsibilities of being the controversial guy on the podcast? Because looking at the other people that are there, husband material is the moderator, Deti Cole and Izine are just I can't say anyone that can really take up that position of being the controversial guy that takes all the hits for the others. But then I would love to see what goes on going forward. Don't worry. Comment below. Let us know what do you think will happen with the Honest Bunch podcast going forward. And before I forget and close out the show, this is to wish those of you who are actual lovers and believe in Valentine's Day a very, very happy Valentine's. From Uche of the Eccentric Side to you, don't forget to celebrate that loved one. Buy gifts for your partner. Or if you don't have money, just spend quality time with your partner. This period is very needed considering the situation of things around the world. But then, don't forget, most especially, like this video, share the video with somebody, subscribe to the Eccentric Side, and don't forget to tell people that the Eccentric Side is back.